I almost wish that wasn't such a lovely interview because I really did not like this film.
Okay.
So
Why?
the premise is quite nice. It's like you were talking with Felicity. It's set across two timelines: London, contemporary London, London in the '60s. This love affair that becomes revealed through the letters that Felicity's character Ellie, a journalist, finds with the help of Navan Rizwan's character Rory, who's the archivist, who she antagonizes and is very mean to at the beginning, which is the only good thing about this film for me. Essentially, it's a cardboard cutout of a love story for me. Barely, I think that calling these characters is giving them too much credit. I think there was barely
Oof.
anything for me to hold on to. I listen. I have a cold dead heart, but I do love a love story. Like when it works, it works. You give me a
Now,
before
Voyager.
sun, give me an Voyager, give me a before sunrise or before sunset, and I'm crying. But this, I just don't believe it for a second. It just feels like one of those films where everybody had a lovely holiday in Spain. I'm glad Felicity got the almond croissant. That's her favorite. It's also my favorite. I respect it. But I don't, none of these characters are real. They don't feel real. Callum Turner and Shailene Woodley's kind of their characters' love affair, it only works on the letters. It only works in narration. I felt zero connection between them. I don't even want to get into Joe Alwyn's mockery of a character because I think it would just get mean. He's a cardboard cutout. He's barely in the film, and they're presenting him as this big villain. And he's not a nice husband to his wife. But I'm not excusing him. I'm just saying there's not enough. I don't even see, you don't get enough of anything to actually hold on to resent, to root
Mm.
for. It's just all done through these letters and this narration. And for that purposes, I'd rather read the book as opposed to watch these very beautiful actors wear incredible clothes. That was the best thing about the film for me. It was the 60s
The
fashion.
clothes.
Oh,
Mm.
the clothes, the hats, the color schemes, everything. Glorious, beautiful. I want it. I love how much we got to see of it. Shailene Woodley's cat eye makeup, extraordinary. There was a point in the film where I was looking at it, I was thinking, I do not know how to do that. I could like this is where the budget went. It went into the perfect cat eye makeup and not the script.
Well, if that was
Because
your focus, then you definitely were not in the film.
I
Totally.
just, it was bland. It was the worst kind of vanilla. I didn't feel anything for any of them. The only kind of charismatic element of this film was that the relationship that's brewing between Rory and Ellie in the more contemporary part. And again, I don't think Ellie's a really great journalist. She definitely does some unethical stuff, but she gets so captivated by this love affair because her love life is a little bit of a mess in the movie. And
Hmm.
how she antagonizes Rory, quite mean, not very professional behavior, very, very, very cruel to him, frankly. But for some reason, it works. Sure, it never worked for me, but fine. Uh, and there's some really great comedic scenes between them at the start of the film, and that's kind of where the fun bit ends. Then a lot of the time is spent with in the 60s, and as I said, aside from the fashion and the makeup, there's barely anything to really engage with. And I, for one, I'm just not, I'm kind of done with bland, vanilla, posh love affairs. I don't really need to see that many more of them.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not my vibe, but frankly, I need a little bit more spice to it. So like I said, all the characters are just very beautiful paper dolls that you put lovely, gorgeous gowns on. And I think if anybody is particularly, having maybe a hungover day and really want something easy to watch that's nice to look at, this is a good option. Kind of if you like your salad without any dressing on, this is a good romantic drama. But if you enjoy flavor, probably not for you.
Like if we can refer to every film from now on as a kind of food kind of analogy of like what your food. I guess as well for a lot of people it's a slight surprise that it was a follow up film for Augustine as well. You know, in terms of
Mm,
what she's done prior to this. You know, and her work on Euphoria as well, which is just
yes.
is it's so
Extraordinary.
yeah.
It's
Okay.
amazing. I'm very surprised. I genuinely I don't see that much of her stamp on this, to be
Yeah.
honest, which is strange. It feels very strange. I love Euphoria, and she
Mm.
directed the pilot for it, so she kind of very much visually set the tone for that series, which is very cinematic, extremely cinematic, and visually very intriguing and very bold and kind of very expansive as well with what it does with a very dark teen drama. And
Yeah.
I didn't really feel any of that here. It just felt like a very expensive holiday.